Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have a direct hotline to the universe when it comes to money, while others feel like they're permanently stuck on hold with cosmic customer service? What if I told you that there's actually a universal financial department that's been waiting for your call your entire life, and most of us have been accidentally dialing the wrong number this whole time? But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Here's something that might blow your mind. The universe operates like the most efficient delivery service you've ever encountered, but instead of packages, it's delivering experiences, opportunities, and yes, money. The problem is, most of us have been placing orders in a language we never properly learned, accidentally requesting poverty when we desperately want prosperity. Has this ever happened to you? You work hard. You think positive thoughts. You even try visualization. But somehow money still feels like it's playing an elaborate game of hide-and-seek with your bank account. The truth is, there's a specific language that the universe understands when it comes to wealth manifestation. And it's so simple that most people completely overlook it. While other financial gurus are serving you 3-course meals of complicated strategies that take months to digest and leave you more confused than when you started, what you're about to discover is like an espresso shot of wealth wisdom, quick, potent, and guaranteed to wake up your inner money magnet in just 2 days. Now, I want you to be brutally honest with yourself for a moment. How many times have you caught yourself saying things like, "I can't afford that," or "money is so tight right now," or my personal favorite, "I'm just not good with money"? Don't worry, I see those guilty faces through the screen. We've all been there, standing in, front of the mirror of our financial reality, wondering why the universe seems to have us on some sort of cosmic blocked list when it comes to abundance. What's happening here is that you've been speaking fluent universe, but nobody ever taught you the grammar rules for wealth attraction. It's like trying to order your dream meal at a restaurant while accidentally asking for expired disappointment instead of fresh abundance. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to learn will completely transform how you communicate with the universe about money. The universe is incredibly literal, and it's been taking detailed notes on every single word that comes out of your mouth regarding your finances. Most of us learned to speak about money from people who were just as confused about wealth as we were, creating generational patterns of financial limitation that can be broken with 3 exact words. What you're about to discover might surprise you, but these aren't just mystical concepts. There's actual science backing up why your words about money create your financial reality, and how you can hack this system to attract huge sums of money in just 48 hours. If this kind of practical wisdom resonates with you, I'd love to have you join our community by subscribing. We dive deep into consciousness principles that actually create results, and honestly, having people like you who are serious about transformation makes this work so much more meaningful. Your brain has something called the reticular activating system, which is essentially your personal search engine for reality. This hidden mechanism behind the scenes of your consciousness is constantly filtering through millions of pieces of information every second, deciding what deserves your attention. Here's where the transformation begins. Whatever you consistently tell this system to look for, it finds with remarkable precision. Tell it you're financially unlucky, and it'll present you with a highlight reel of every missed opportunity, every unexpected expense, every moment when money seemed to slip through your fingers like water. But here's the revelation that changes everything. Every single time you say, "I can't afford that," "money is tight," or "I'm just not financially lucky," you're unconsciously placing orders for more financial struggle with the universe's instant delivery system. The cosmic truth is that the universe operates on what I like to call the Amazon Prime principle for manifestation. It's incredibly efficient at delivering exactly what you order, but it can't read between the lines of your wishful thinking or decode the hidden meanings behind your words. When you say, "I don't want to be poor," the universe hears the word poor and starts prepping your delivery of more poverty. It's like typing "not pizza" into a food delivery app and being genuinely shocked when pizza shows up at your door. The universe doesn't understand negatives, sarcasm, or the complex, emotional journey of your financial fears. It only responds to the emotional energy and specific words you're broadcasting. This is why you've been wondering why money seems to avoid you while others attract wealth effortlessly, almost like they have some secret backstage pass to abundance. The hidden truth isn't that they're luckier, more deserving, or born under better stars. The secret lies in understanding that you've been speaking fluent universe, but using the wrong financial vocabulary your entire life. It's like having the right phone number, but dialing it incorrectly every single time. Most people learned their money language from parents, teachers, and society members who were equally confused about wealth creation. This creates generational patterns of financial limitation that get passed down like family recipes, except instead of delicious meals, we're inheriting recipes for struggle. The impact of this unconscious programming runs so deep that even when we desperately want financial freedom, our automatic language patterns keep reinforcing the very limitations we're trying to escape. The decisions you make about how to speak about money literally rewire your brain's search parameters. Every word becomes a command to your subconscious mind. Every phrase becomes a directive to the universe about what kind of financial experiences you want to attract. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the 3 exact words that can completely reverse this process and put you back in the driver's seat of your financial destiny. Write in the comments, "I'm ready to change my money language," if this is starting to make sense to you. The universe operates like the most earnest, well-meaning friend who takes everything you say at absolute face value. When you declare, "I'm broke," the universe doesn't hear your inner monologue saying, "I'm temporarily experiencing a cash flow situation that I'm actively working to improve." Instead, it hears, "She wants to be broke." Got it. More broke coming right up. This cosmic translation system has been taking detailed notes on every financial statement you make, filing them away like the most meticulous accountant you've ever encountered. Behind the scenes of your conscious awareness, every word you speak about money becomes a blueprint for your financial reality. The universe doesn't understand sarcasm, irony, or the complex emotional journey of your financial fears. It operates on pure energy and literal interpretation, responding only to your exact words combined with the emotional frequency you're broadcasting when you say them. This is why someone can repeat positive affirmations all day long while feeling completely disconnected from the words and wonder why nothing changes. The hidden truth about this whole process is that most of us inherited our money vocabulary from confused mentors. Think about it. Who taught you how to talk about money? Your parents, who perhaps struggled financially themselves? Teachers who chose education over wealth? A society that often views money with suspicion and guilt? This creates a fascinating phenomenon where entire family trees, entire communities, are unconsciously passing down the same financial limitation patterns from generation to generation, like genetic code for struggle. These generational patterns run so deep that even when someone achieves financial success, they often sabotage themselves because their internal language system hasn't been updated to match their new reality. The impact of this inherited programming is profound. It's like trying to run modern software on an outdated operating system. Your conscious mind wants wealth, but your subconscious programming is still running the old, money is hard software that was installed decades ago. The transformation happens when you realize that these patterns can be completely rewired with the right linguistic approach. Your financial DNA isn't permanent, it's programmable. Every decision to choose different words about money literally rewrites your neural pathways, creating new grooves in your brain that support abundance instead of limitation. The journey from financial struggle to prosperity isn't just about making more money. It's about fundamentally changing the internal conversation you have with the universe about what you deserve and what's possible for you. Now, I want to reveal something that might completely shift your perspective on how quickly this transformation can happen, because there are 3 specific words that act like a master key to unlock this entire system. Write in the comments, "I'm upgrading my money programming," if you're ready to break these generational patterns. These 3 words work like a master reset button for your entire financial operating system. But before I reveal them, you need to understand just how deep this programming rabbit hole goes. When you casually say, "I'm broke," during a conversation with a friend, you're not just making an observation about your current bank balance. You're literally programming your subconscious mind to search for evidence that supports this identity. It's like telling a highly sophisticated search engine to filter your entire reality through the lens of financial lack. Your reticular activating system doesn't take coffee breaks or vacation days. It's working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, constantly scanning your environment for proof that matches whatever story you've told it about your financial situation. Tell it you're poor, and it becomes like an overzealous detective, highlighting every financial setback while completely filtering out opportunities that could change your circumstances. It'll notice every bill that arrives, every price increase, every story about economic hardship, but somehow manage to miss the job opening that could double your income or the investment opportunity sitting right in front of you. If this conversation sparked something inside you about your relationship with money, show me by hitting that like button. It helps this message reach other people who are ready for this level of transformation. This hidden mechanism behind your awareness is so powerful that it can literally make you blind to abundance that already exists in your life. The revelation here is that you're not actually experiencing a shortage of opportunities. You're experiencing a shortage of awareness about the opportunities that surround you every single day. Your brain is simply following the programming you've given it through your consistent language patterns about money. The transformation begins when you realize that this same system can work in your favor with equal precision. The moment you start feeding it different data about your financial reality, it immediately begins searching for evidence to support your new story. This is where the real magic happens, because your brain doesn't distinguish between what's currently true and what you're programming it to look for. It simply follows orders. The impact of this shift can be almost instantaneous. People who understand this principle often report noticing money they forgot they had, receiving unexpected payments, or stumbling upon financial opportunities within days of changing their internal dialogue. It's not that the universe suddenly became more generous. It's that their awareness finally aligned with the abundance that was always there. The journey from scarcity consciousness to abundance consciousness isn't about forcing the universe to give you something it was withholding. It's about removing the filters that were preventing you from seeing what was already available. Your financial reality is like a radio station. You're not trying to create the signal, you're simply tuning into a frequency that's always been broadcasting. Now let me show you exactly how to tune in to the wealth frequency using these 3 specific words that act like precision instruments for reprogramming your financial search engine. Write in the comments, "I'm ready to retune my frequency," if you can feel this shift starting to happen for you. The universe operates exactly like Amazon Prime for manifestation, with one crucial difference. It's even more efficient at delivering exactly what you order, but it absolutely cannot read between the lines of your financial wishful thinking. When you place an order on Amazon, you don't type in "maybe some shoes" or "I don't want ugly shoes." You select exactly what you want. The universe works the same way, except most of us have been placing orders using vague, contradictory language that confuses the entire delivery system. Every single thought and word about money becomes a specific item in your cosmic shopping cart. The fascinating thing is that this delivery system never experiences delays, backlogs, or shipping errors. It processes your orders with supernatural precision, which is why understanding the exact language protocol becomes so critical for your financial transformation. When you say, "I don't want to be poor," you're essentially typing "not wealth" into the universal ordering system. And just like that confused Amazon search, you end up receiving exactly what you didn't want. The moment you discover the 3 specific phrases that work like magic words in this system, something remarkable happens behind the scenes. The universe becomes like an excited golden retriever who just heard the unmistakable sound of a treat bag opening. Suddenly, it's completely alert, tail wagging, ready to deliver abundance with the kind of enthusiasm that can only come from finally receiving clear, unambiguous instructions. This shift in cosmic attention isn't just metaphorical. People who master this linguistic approach report experiencing what feels like a complete reversal of their financial luck within 48 hours. Opportunities start appearing. From seemingly nowhere, unexpected money finds its way to them. and decisions that previously felt impossible suddenly become obvious. The hidden truth is that the universe was always this responsive, but most of us were accidentally speaking in a dialect it couldn't understand. The revelation here is that you don't need to convince the universe to be generous with you. You don't need to prove your worthiness or overcome some cosmic test of character. You simply need to learn how to place your order using the correct linguistic format, like learning the proper commands for a highly sophisticated computer program that's been waiting for your input. The impact of this understanding goes far beyond just attracting money. It completely transforms your relationship with possibility itself. When you realize that the universe is actually this responsive to your verbal instructions, every area of your life becomes an opportunity for conscious creation rather than random circumstance. Now, I want to reveal the first of these 3 transformative phrases because once you understand how to use it correctly, you'll never look at your financial situation the same way again. Write in the comments, "I'm ready to place my order," if you can feel this energy shift happening as we speak. The first phrase that acts like a direct hotline to universal abundance is surprisingly simple. It's just 2 words that you use every single day, probably dozens of times, without realizing their incredible power. These 2 words are I am, and they function like the universe's red phone, creating an instant connection to cosmic headquarters. Whatever follows I am becomes your immediate order to the universe, processed with the speed and efficiency of the most advanced delivery system ever created. Subscribe to this channel if you're ready for more content that cuts through the noise and gives you tools that actually work. I'm committed to sharing only the insights that can genuinely shift your reality, and I'd love to continue this journey with you. When you declare I am wealthy, you're not just making a hopeful statement. You're placing a direct order for wealth with the same precision as dialing emergency services. Conversely, when you casually say, I am struggling, you're ordering more struggle with equal efficiency. The universe doesn't pause to consider whether you really mean it or whether you're just having a bad day. It simply processes your order and begins arranging circumstances to match your declaration. The transformation begins with becoming a detective of your own language patterns. For the next 24 hours, I want you to develop an almost obsessive awareness of every single I am statement that comes out of your mouth, especially regarding money. This awareness itself becomes a powerful catalyst for change because most people are completely unconscious of how often they're accidentally programming themselves for financial limitation. The moment you catch yourself saying, I am broke, something magical happens behind the scenes of your consciousness. Instead of just letting that order go straight to universal fulfillment, you now have the power to intercept it and consciously rephrase it as, I am building wealth. This simple linguistic intervention literally interrupts the old programming and installs new software in real time. The impact of this practice becomes evident almost immediately. Your brain, which has been conditioned to search for evidence of financial struggle, suddenly receives new instructions to look for signs of growing wealth. This shift in focus doesn't just change what you notice, it actually changes what shows up in your experience because your energy and attention begin attracting different opportunities. The journey from unconscious financial self-sabotage to conscious wealth creation happens one I am statement at a time. Each time you choose empowering language over limiting language, you're literally rewiring decades of conditioning. The decisions you make about how to complete the phrase I am become the blueprint for your financial future. The revelation here is that you don't need to wait for your circumstances to change before you can speak differently about money. You can start speaking like a wealthy person right now, and your circumstances will begin shifting to match your new verbal identity. Now, I want to share the second phrase that works hand in hand with I am to create an unstoppable momentum toward financial abundance. Write in the comments, I am becoming aware if you're already noticing how often you use limiting I am statements. The second phrase that creates an unstoppable momentum toward wealth is I have, and it works by activating the universe's powerful confirmation bias for abundance. When you consciously acknowledge financial blessings you already possess, something fascinating happens behind the scenes. The universe assumes you're someone who appreciates wealth and automatically starts shopping for upgrades to your current situation. It's like the cosmic equivalent of a loyalty program, where recognition of existing abundance qualifies you for premium treatment. This isn't just about gratitude exercises or positive thinking. It's about taking inventory of what's actually working in your financial life and speaking about it with genuine appreciation. When you say, "I have a warm bed," "I have clean water," or "I have people who care about me," you're not just being thankful. You're placing cosmic purchase orders for more good things to flow into your experience. Here's where most people stumble into a massive trap that completely sabotages their manifestation efforts. You absolutely cannot fake this process. The universe has excellent emotional radar, and trying to fool it is like trying to convince someone you're happy while wearing a scowl. When you stand in your empty apartment declaring, "I have abundance," while internally rolling your eyes and feeling disconnected from the words, you're sending conflicting signals that cancel each other out. The transformation happens when you understand that authenticity is the secret ingredient that makes this entire system work. The universe responds to the energy behind your words, not just the words themselves. This means you need to start small and build your credibility with the cosmic ordering system by acknowledging things you genuinely have and appreciate. The revelation here is that you don't need to lie about your current circumstances or pretend to feel grateful for things that genuinely frustrate you. Instead, find one thing you authentically have and appreciate. Maybe it's your ability to make people laugh, your cozy reading corner, or even just the fact that you're healthy enough to be learning about wealth manifestation right now. The journey from scarcity consciousness to abundance consciousness happens by building your "I have" muscle with things that feel completely true. Once you establish this foundation of genuine appreciation, you can gradually expand your inventory to include larger and larger aspects of abundance in your life. The impact of this approach becomes evident when your brain starts searching for more evidence of what you already have, creating a positive feedback loop that attracts even more reasons to feel appreciative. This isn't magical thinking. It's strategic, emotional programming that aligns your internal energy with the frequency of abundance. Now, I want to reveal the third and final phrase that completes this powerful trilogy and transforms you from a passive recipient of circumstances into the conscious architect of your financial destiny. Write in the comments, "I have more than I realized," if you're starting to see abundance you hadn't noticed before. The secret to building unshakable credibility with the universe lies in starting with the smallest, most genuine appreciations you can muster. Find a dollar bill in your pocket and genuinely appreciate having it. Notice a bill that's been paid and feel real gratitude for that financial stability, even if it's temporary. Accept that free coffee from a friend with authentic appreciation rather than dismissing it as insignificant. These micro moments of genuine financial appreciation become the foundation stones for massive wealth transformation. The hidden truth behind this approach is that the universe isn't impressed by the size of what you appreciate. It's responding to the authenticity of your emotional frequency. When you build your "I have" muscle with small, truthful acknowledgments of abundance, you're literally training your nervous system to recognize and receive more prosperity. This process bypasses all the internal resistance that comes from trying to convince yourself of abundance you don't genuinely feel. The third phrase that completes this powerful trilogy and fundamentally shifts your entire relationship with money is "I choose." These two words transform you from a victim of financial circumstances into the conscious architect of your money story, sending an unmistakable signal to the universe that you're ready to take responsibility for your wealth creation journey. When you replace "this always happens to me" with "I choose to see this as an opportunity," something profound shifts behind the scenes of your consciousness. Instead of positioning yourself as someone who has financial things happen to them, you become someone who makes conscious decisions about their financial experience. The universe absolutely loves working with people who take this level of responsibility, because it knows they're serious about creating lasting change rather than just complaining about their circumstances. The transformation happens when you realize that even in the most challenging financial situations, you always have the power to choose your response, choose your interpretation, and choose your next step. I choose to find a solution carries completely different energy than I have no choice. And the universe responds to that energy by presenting you with options you couldn't see from the victim mindset. The impact of consistently using I choose language rewires your brain to look for possibilities rather than limitations, solutions rather than problems, opportunities rather than obstacles. This isn't about denying difficult realities. It's about positioning yourself as someone who has agency in creating your financial future. The revelation here is that wealth consciousness isn't about having money. It's about thinking like someone who has choices, options, and the power to influence their circumstances. When you master this linguistic shift, you literally become a different person energetically, and different people attract different opportunities. Now, I want to share the precise timing and emotional components that can accelerate these 3 phrases from gentle suggestions to powerful manifestation commands that deliver results in just 48 hours. Write in the comments, I choose abundance, if you can feel this shift from victim to creator happening right now. The universe operates on a fascinating principle that most people never discover. It actually prefers working with individuals who take complete responsibility for their financial experience, because it recognizes that these people are committed to creating lasting transformation rather than seeking temporary fixes or magical quick solutions. When you consistently use I choose language, you're sending a signal that you understand your role as the conscious creator of your circumstances, which unlocks a level of cosmic cooperation that victims of circumstance never experience. This responsibility-wealth connection reveals why some people seem to attract money effortlessly, while others struggle despite working just as hard. The difference isn't luck, talent, or even opportunity. It's the willingness to own your financial story completely. Behind the scenes of every major wealth breakthrough, you'll find someone who stopped blaming external circumstances and started taking full ownership of their financial destiny. Hit the like button if you can feel your financial consciousness shifting already. Your engagement tells me these insights are landing with people who are genuinely ready to change their money story, and that means everything. The hidden truth about timing reveals another layer of this manifestation process that can dramatically accelerate your results. There are specific windows during your day when your subconscious mind becomes incredibly receptive to new financial programming, and most people completely miss these golden opportunities. The most powerful times for money manifestation happen right before you fall asleep and immediately upon waking, when your conscious mind, with all its financial fears and doubts, is taking a coffee break. During these twilight moments of consciousness, your analytical mind stops running interference, and your subconscious becomes ready to place orders directly with cosmic headquarters. This is when your 3 phrases, I am, I have, and I choose, transform from simple words into powerful programming commands that bypass all your mental resistance. The transformation happens when you deliberately use these precious moments to install new financial software into your consciousness. Instead of falling asleep, worried about bills, or waking up stressed about money, you can consciously choose to program abundance during these optimal reception windows. Your subconscious mind is like a highly sophisticated computer that processes information most efficiently when the user interface of your conscious thoughts isn't running multiple conflicting programs. The impact of this strategic timing approach is profound because you're working with your natural neurological rhythms rather than against them. During these transitional states, your brain waves shift into frequencies that are naturally more receptive to suggestion and new programming, making this the ideal time for wealth consciousness installation. The journey from financial struggle to abundance accelerates dramatically when you combine the right language with optimal timing. But there's one more crucial element that can upgrade your entire manifestation process from regular delivery to express shipping. Now, I want to reveal the emotional secret that transforms these 3 phrases from mere words into magnetic forces that can attract money within 48 hours. Write in the comments, I'm programming abundance, if you're ready to use these optimal timing windows starting tonight. The emotional secret that transforms these 3 phrases from mere words into magnetic forces capable of attracting money within 48 hours lies in understanding that the Universe responds far more powerfully to the feeling behind your words than to the words themselves. When you combine I am, I have, and I choose with genuine emotion, real appreciation, authentic hope, and determined conviction about your financial future, you literally upgrade your manifestation process from regular mail to express delivery. This isn't about manufacturing fake enthusiasm or forcing yourself to feel grateful when you're genuinely struggling. The hidden truth is that even small amounts of authentic emotion carry more power than hours of forced positivity. When you say, I am building wealth, with even a tiny spark of real hope, that genuine feeling becomes the electrical current that powers your manifestation. The universe can detect the difference between performed gratitude and felt appreciation with the precision of the most sophisticated emotional radar system ever created. The transformation happens when you realize that you don't need to feel completely confident about your financial future to begin this process. You just need to access whatever genuine positive emotion you can muster in the moment. Maybe it's curiosity about what's possible. Maybe it's determination to change your circumstances. Or maybe it's simple appreciation for the opportunity to learn something new about wealth creation. Behind the scenes of every successful manifestation, there's always this combination of precise language and authentic emotional energy working together. The words provide the specific instructions to the universe, while the emotions provide the fuel that powers the delivery system. Without genuine feeling, your phrases are like sending a letter without postage. Technically correct, but lacking the energy needed to reach their destination. The revelation here is that learning to consciously choose your financial language is actually simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. It's like training a puppy. The concept is straightforward, but it requires consistency, patience, and the occasional treat when you get it right. The universe isn't testing your worthiness or making you prove that you deserve abundance. It's simply waiting for you to get clear about what you actually want and communicate that desire with emotional authenticity. The journey from financial limitation to abundance accelerates dramatically when you stop trying to convince the universe of something you don't believe and start building genuine appreciation for the wealth-building process itself. Every time you catch yourself speaking the old language of limitation and consciously choose empowering words instead, you're literally rewiring decades of conditioning. Now, I want to share the specific practice that ties all of these elements together into a simple daily routine that can completely reshape your financial reality in just 1 week. Write in the comments, I feel the shift happening, if you can sense your emotional relationship with money starting to change. The specific practice that transforms everything is what I call the 7-day money language bootcamp. And it requires you to become completely obsessed with catching and redirecting your financial vocabulary. This means setting phone reminders, placing sticky notes on your bathroom mirror, writing these 3 phrases on your hand if necessary, whatever it takes to remember that you're in active training mode for the next week. Every single conversation about money becomes an opportunity to practice your new linguistic skills. The transformation happens when you realize that this process works like a scientific experiment rather than a religious belief system. You don't need to have faith in manifestation for it to work. The universe only requires your participation, not your conviction. This revelation liberates you from the pressure of trying to believe something that might feel foreign to your logical mind. Instead, you can approach this like a curious researcher, testing the hypothesis that your words create your financial reality. Behind the scenes of this experimental approach, something fascinating occurs. When you remove the pressure to believe and simply commit to consistent practice, your natural skepticism actually works in your favor. You become more aware of results because you're genuinely looking for evidence that either supports or contradicts the theory. This heightened awareness itself becomes part of the manifestation process because attention is the first ingredient in creating any change. The hidden truth about this faith-free approach is that the universe doesn't care about your belief system. It responds to your energy, consistency, and emotional authenticity. You can be completely skeptical while speaking these phrases and still experience remarkable shifts in your financial circumstances, because skepticism doesn't cancel out the neurological reprogramming that happens when you consciously choose empowering language. Over-limiting language. The journey from doubt to evidence unfolds naturally when you commit to the practice without needing to understand the mechanism. It's like using electricity without needing to comprehend electromagnetic theory. The lights still turn on when you flip the switch. Your financial reality can shift dramatically even while your logical mind remains unconvinced about the metaphysical explanations. The impact of this experimental mindset removes all the spiritual pressure and performance anxiety that can sabotage manifestation efforts. When you're simply testing a hypothesis rather than trying to manifest from desperation, your energy becomes more relaxed and authentic, which paradoxically makes the process more effective. Now, I want to reveal what typically happens during these 7 days of intensive practice, because understanding the common patterns can help you navigate the transformation process with greater confidence and awareness. Write in the comments, "I'm ready to experiment," if you're willing to test this hypothesis for the next 7 days. What happens during these 7 days of intensive practice is that you begin to see the stark difference between accidentally ordering financial chaos through unconscious language patterns and consciously creating the wealthy life you actually want through intentional word choices. Most people spend their entire lives placing random orders with the universe, complaining about money one moment, hoping for abundance the next, then immediately contradicting themselves with worry and doubt. This scattered approach creates scattered results, like trying to navigate with a compass that keeps spinning in different directions. The transformation becomes evident when you realize that every single word you speak about money is either moving you toward wealth or away from it. There's no neutral territory in the language of manifestation. When you catch yourself mid-sentence saying, "I can't afford," and consciously pivot to, "I choose to find a way," you're literally interrupting a poverty order and placing an abundance order instead. This level of conscious intervention in your own thought patterns creates immediate shifts in how you feel about money, which cascades into how you behave around financial opportunities. Behind the scenes of this linguistic transformation, your brain begins recognizing patterns you've never noticed before. You start seeing how your financial language has been creating your financial reality with mathematical precision. The revelation hits that your words about money are far more powerful than you've ever imagined, functioning like precise instructions to both your subconscious mind and the universal delivery system. The hidden truth about this process is that the universe has been preparing to show you what you're truly capable of creating financially, but it was waiting for you to demonstrate that you're ready for that level of responsibility. When you consistently choose empowering language about money, you're sending a clear signal that you're prepared to receive and manage greater abundance. The journey from accidental creation to conscious manifestation accelerates rapidly once you understand that you've always been creating your financial reality through your words. You just weren't aware of the mechanism. Every financial struggle, every unexpected windfall, every missed opportunity can be traced back to the dominant language, patterns you've been using about money. This isn't about blame or regret. It's about recognizing the incredible power you've had all along. The impact of this awareness extends far beyond just attracting money. When you realize that your words are literally programming your reality in real time, every area of your life becomes an opportunity for conscious creation rather than random circumstance. You start speaking about your health, relationships, and career with the same intentional precision you're now bringing to your financial language. Now, I want to share what specific results you can expect to see within the first 48 hours of implementing this practice, because understanding the typical timeline helps you recognize the early signs of transformation. Write in the comments, "I'm choosing conscious creation," if you're ready to stop accidentally ordering chaos and start deliberately designing abundance. Within the first 48 hours of implementing this practice, most people experience what I call the awareness avalanche, suddenly noticing money and financial opportunities that were always there but had been filtered out by their previous programming. The transformation begins immediately with a simple morning ritual that sets your financial frequency for the entire day. The moment you wake up, before checking your phone or worrying about your to-do list, you declare, "I am attracting money easily, I have unlimited financial opportunities, and I choose to see wealth everywhere." This isn't just positive thinking. It's strategic neurological programming that primes your reticular activating system to search for abundance throughout your day. Behind the scenes of this morning practice, something remarkable happens to your energy and attention. Your brain begins the day with clear instructions about what to prioritize and notice, creating a heightened awareness of financial possibilities that most people miss completely. The hidden truth is that opportunities for money flow past us constantly, but our old programming has trained us to focus on lack, problems, and limitations instead. The evening wealth gratitude practice completes this daily transformation cycle by acknowledging any money that flowed to you during the day, no matter how small. Found a penny on the sidewalk? Received a discount at the store? Someone bought you coffee? These aren't insignificant details. They're evidence of money flowing toward you, and acknowledging them signals the universe to send more financial blessings tomorrow. This practice works because the universe operates on the principle of more of what you appreciate. The impact of bookending your day with these two practices creates a powerful momentum that builds exponentially. Your morning ritual sets the intention and frequency, while your evening practice reinforces the evidence and appreciation. Together, they create a feedback loop that continuously expands your capacity to recognize and receive abundance. The journey from financial blindness to wealth awareness accelerates dramatically when you realize that the universe has been sending you money signals all along. You just weren't tuned to the right frequency to receive them. Every day contains dozens of micro-opportunities and small abundance confirmations that can build into major financial shifts when you're consciously watching for them. The revelation here is that manifestation isn't about convincing the universe to give you something new. It's about training yourself to recognize and receive what's already trying to reach you. Your daily morning and evening practices become like tuning forks that calibrate your energy to match the frequency of financial abundance. Now, I want to share the advanced techniques that can amplify these basic practices and accelerate your results from days to hours, because once you master the fundamentals, there are specific methods to dramatically increase the speed and magnitude of your manifestation. Write in the comments, "I'm setting my frequency," if you're ready to start tomorrow morning with this powerful daily practice. The advanced techniques that can accelerate your results from days to hours involve what I call the money story rewrite process, where you consciously identify and transform the deepest financial beliefs that have been running your life behind the scenes. Every person carries around invisible scripts about money that were installed during childhood. Stories like, "Money is hard to come by," "Rich people are greedy," or "There's never enough." These subconscious narratives have been quietly sabotaging your wealth-building efforts by creating internal resistance to abundance. The transformation happens when you deliberately rewrite these limiting stories with empowering alternatives. Instead of "money is hard to come by," you consciously install "I am a money magnet." Rather than "rich people are greedy," you replace it with "I have the right to be wealthy and generous." This isn't just about changing your conscious thoughts. It's about reprogramming the fundamental operating system that determines how you feel, think, and behave around money. Behind the scenes of this rewriting process, your nervous system begins recognizing these new stories as your truth, which automatically shifts how you show up in financial situations. When you genuinely believe "I am a money magnet," you naturally start making decisions, taking actions, and noticing opportunities that align with that identity. The hidden truth is that your financial results have always been a direct reflection of your deepest money stories, whether you were conscious of them or not. The real test of your new programming comes during financial emergencies, when stress and fear threaten to override all your conscious practices. This is where the financial emergency language shift becomes crucial for maintaining your abundance frequency even under pressure. Instead of panicking with "I don't have enough," when unexpected expenses arise, you breathe deeply and consciously choose to say, "I choose to trust that money is flowing to me now." This single phrase can completely interrupt the spiral of financial anxiety and redirect your energy toward solutions. The impact of maintaining empowering language during crisis moments is profound, because these are the times when your subconscious mind is most open to new programming. When you Consistently choose abundance language even when circumstances seem to contradict it. You're demonstrating to the universe that your commitment to wealth consciousness goes deeper than temporary appearances. The journey from reactive financial victim to conscious wealth creator reaches a crucial turning point when you learn to speak abundantly even during apparent scarcity. Every financial challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen your manifestation muscles and prove to yourself that your words have power, regardless of external circumstances. The revelation here is that your biggest financial breakthroughs often come immediately after the moments when you successfully maintain abundance language during your greatest money fears, because that's when you truly embody wealth consciousness rather than just practicing it during easy times. Now, I want to explore the phenomenon that occurs when you combine all these techniques with specific timing strategies that can compress weeks of manifestation into mere hours. Write in the comments, "I'm rewriting my money story," if you're ready to identify and transform the limiting beliefs that have been running your financial life. The phenomenon that occurs when you combine all these techniques creates what I call the wealth witness activation, where your relationship with other people's financial success becomes a powerful tool for your own abundance manifestation. Most people unconsciously sabotage their wealth potential by feeling jealous, resentful, or inadequate when witnessing others' financial success. This emotional response sends a clear signal to the universe that you view abundance as scarce and others' wealth as somehow diminishing your own possibilities. The transformation happens when you consciously train yourself to notice others' financial success without jealousy and immediately respond with, "I have the same wealth potential." This simple phrase completely rewrites your subconscious relationship with abundance from competition to inspiration. Behind the scenes of this practice, you're literally programming your brain to see wealth as evidence of what's possible rather than evidence of what you lack. When you genuinely celebrate someone else's financial breakthrough and declare, "I have the same wealth potential," you're telling the universe that you're ready for similar abundance in your own life. The hidden truth is that every person's success around you is actually proof that the universe is distributing wealth in your vicinity. You're simply training yourself to see that distribution as evidence of opportunity rather than evidence of exclusion. The money opportunity recognition training takes this concept even deeper by transforming how you perceive financial challenges themselves. When faced with unexpected expenses, job loss, or business setbacks, most people immediately shift into survival mode and panic language. However, when you've mastered this practice, you can immediately state, "I choose to see this as my wealth breakthrough moment to shift your energy towards solutions rather than problems." The impact of this reframe is extraordinary because it positions you as someone who understands that major financial breakthroughs often come disguised as apparent setbacks. Every challenge becomes a catalyst for creative problem-solving, new income streams, or opportunities you never would have discovered while comfortable. The journey from victim consciousness to opportunity consciousness accelerates dramatically when you realize that the universe often uses apparent obstacles to redirect you toward greater abundance. The revelation here is that your biggest money breakthroughs rarely come from your comfort zone. They emerge from moments when you're forced to think differently, act boldly, or discover resources you didn't know you possessed. When you train yourself to immediately recognize challenges as potential breakthrough moments, you maintain the mental and emotional agility needed to capitalize on hidden opportunities. Now, I want to share the final piece of this wealth manifestation puzzle, the specific combination technique that brings all three phrases together in a way that can create almost instantaneous shifts in your financial reality. Write in the comments, "I see breakthrough opportunities," if you're ready to transform every challenge into a potential wealth catalyst. The specific combination technique that brings all three phrases together creates what I call the quick cash flow formula, and it's designed for moments when you need immediate financial shift rather than gradual transformation. When you combine all three power phrases into one declaration, "I am worthy of sudden wealth," "I have everything needed for success," "I choose to receive money now," you're essentially placing an express order with the universe that bypasses all the usual processing delays. Behind the scenes of this combination, formula, something profound happens in your energy field. Instead of sending scattered signals about money, you're broadcasting a unified message that aligns your identity, your appreciation, and your decision-making power in one concentrated burst. The hidden truth is that the universe responds most powerfully to clarity and conviction, and this formula delivers both with precision targeting. The transformation from financial victim to financial victor reaches its culmination when you can replace your most desperate moments with empowering language. When unexpected bills arrive or financial crises hit, instead of falling into the old pattern of, "Why does this always happen to me?" you immediately pivot to, "I choose to learn from this and attract better financial circumstances immediately." This single shift represents the difference between someone who has money happen to them and someone who consciously creates their financial reality. The impact of this victim-to-victor transformation extends far beyond just changing your words. It fundamentally rewires your relationship with financial challenges. Every setback becomes data rather than disaster. Every obstacle becomes information rather than evidence of your limitations. The journey from reactive victim consciousness to proactive creator consciousness accelerates exponentially when you realize that your response to financial challenges determines your next financial outcome. The revelation here is that the universe is constantly testing your commitment to your new financial identity through these challenging moments. When you maintain abundance language even during apparent scarcity, you're proving that your wealth consciousness has become unshakable. This demonstration of consistency under pressure signals to the cosmic delivery system that you're ready for the next level of financial abundance. Behind every major financial breakthrough, you'll find someone who learned to speak like a wealthy person before their bank account reflected that reality. The decisions you make about your language during your most challenging financial moments become the foundation for your future prosperity. Now, I want to reveal the final acceleration technique that can compress all of this manifestation work into a 48-hour transformation period, because once you understand the science behind rapid manifestation, you can literally redesign your entire financial reality in just 2 days. Write in the comments, "I choose Victor Consciousness," if you're ready to permanently transform how you respond to financial challenges. The final acceleration technique that can compress all of this manifestation work into a 48-hour transformation period involves what I call the money magnet mindset installation, where you literally reprogram your subconscious financial operating system throughout your day with a simple but powerful phrase. Instead of allowing your mind to run its usual random commentary about money, you consciously insert, "I am becoming wealthier every moment," into your mental dialogue at regular intervals. The transformation happens when you realize that your subconscious mind processes thousands of thoughts about money every day, and most of them are reinforcing old patterns of limitation. By deliberately interrupting this automatic programming with wealth-affirming statements, you're essentially installing new software into your consciousness that runs continuously in the background, searching for evidence of increasing abundance. Behind the scenes of this installation process, your brain begins treating wealth as an inevitable outcome rather than an unlikely possibility. The hidden truth is that your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what's currently happening and what you're consistently programming it to expect. When you repeatedly declare, "I am becoming wealthier every moment," your internal guidance system starts operating from the assumption that wealth is your natural trajectory. The wealth timeline acceleration technique takes this concept even further by collapsing the perceived time between desire and manifestation. Instead of pushing abundance into some distant future with phrases like, "Maybe someday I'll be rich," you bring wealth into your present reality by declaring, "I am wealthy now in ways I'm discovering daily." This linguistic shift fundamentally changes your relationship with time and possibility. The impact of this present tense wealth language cannot be overstated, because it positions you as someone who is currently discovering abundance rather than someone who is hoping for future abundance. Your brain immediately begins searching for evidence to support this new story, revealing wealth and opportunities that were previously invisible to your old programming. The journey from future-focused, hoping to present moment recognizing, represents the final leap in manifestation mastery. When Youve genuinely embody the energy of someone who is currently wealthy and simply discovering new expressions of that wealth, your behavior, decisions, and opportunities naturally align with that identity. The revelation here is that wealth was never something you needed to acquire from outside yourself. It was always something you needed to recognize and allow from within your own consciousness. The universe has been offering you abundance all along, but your old timeline language was consistently pushing that abundance into an imaginary future that never quite arrived. Now, I want to share the precise 48-hour protocol that brings all of these elements together into a concentrated transformation experience that can completely reshape your financial reality before this weekend is over. Write in the comments, "I am wealthy now," if you're ready to collapse the timeline between desire and manifestation. The precise 48-hour protocol that brings all these elements together begins with what I call the Financial Freedom Declaration practice, where you start each morning by boldly stating, "I have the power to create unlimited wealth," while genuinely feeling the truth of your unlimited potential. This isn't just reciting words. It's about connecting with that deep knowing that your creative capacity is literally boundless when properly directed and focused. The transformation accelerates when you understand that this morning declaration isn't about convincing yourself of something false, but rather about remembering something true that you've temporarily forgotten. Behind the scenes of every financial limitation lies a person who has disconnected from their natural creative power. The hidden truth is that you've always had the ability to generate wealth. You've simply been using that same creative energy to manifest limitation instead of abundance. Throughout these 48 intensive hours, your old money programming will inevitably attempt to reassert itself through familiar fear patterns and limiting thoughts. This is where the money block dissolution strategy becomes crucial for maintaining your transformation momentum. The moment old money fears arise, whether it's panic about bills, worry about the future, or that familiar feeling of financial inadequacy, you immediately counteract with, "I choose to release all financial limitations and embrace my wealth destiny." The impact of this dissolution practice cannot be understated, because it teaches you to respond to money fears as temporary visitors rather than permanent residents in your consciousness. Every time you consciously choose to release limitation and embrace abundance, you're literally rewiring decades of conditioning in real time. The journey from unconscious financial reactivity to conscious financial mastery happens one fear dissolution moment at a time. Behind the science of this rapid transformation lies the understanding that your nervous system can be completely reprogrammed in just 48 hours when you apply consistent, concentrated effort. The revelation here is that you don't need months or years to change your financial reality. You just need to create enough new neural pathways in a short enough time frame to overwhelm the old patterns. The decisions you make during these crucial 48 hours literally determine whether you'll continue living from your old financial programming or step into a completely new relationship with money and abundance. Every choice to speak abundantly instead of fearfully, every decision to embrace wealth consciousness instead of scarcity thinking becomes a building block in your new financial foundation. Now, I want to reveal the final integration technique that ensures these changes become permanent rather than temporary, because transformation without integration simply becomes another failed attempt rather than lasting change. Write in the comments, "I embrace my wealth destiny," if you're ready to dissolve every financial limitation that has been holding you back. The final integration technique that ensures these changes become permanent involves what I call the prosperity consciousness upgrade, where you systematically replace every instance of scarcity thinking with the declaration, "I have access to infinite abundance," while simultaneously visualizing money flowing to you from multiple sources. This isn't just about changing your thoughts, it's about completely rewiring the fundamental operating system that determines how you perceive and interact with financial opportunities. The transformation becomes permanent when you understand that prosperity consciousness isn't a temporary state you achieve during meditation, but rather a continuous way of interpreting reality that becomes your new default setting. Behind the scenes of this upgrade process, your brain begins recognizing abundance as the natural order of the universe rather than scarcity as the baseline condition. The hidden truth is that abundance has always been the cosmic default. Scarcity was simply the lens through which you were taught to view reality. The 48-hour wealth manifestation protocol brings everything together into one intensive transformation experience where you use all 3 phrases every single hour for maximum impact. This means that every 60 minutes you affirm what you are with I am statements, acknowledge what you have with genuine appreciation, and consciously choose your financial future with empowering decision language. This hourly practice creates a continuous stream of abundance programming that overwhelms any old limiting patterns trying to reassert themselves. The impact of this concentrated approach cannot be overstated because it creates what neuroscientists call rapid neural plasticity. Your brain literally forms new pathways at an accelerated rate when exposed to consistent, repetitive new information. The journey from old financial programming to new wealth consciousness requires this level of intensive focus to create lasting change rather than temporary improvement. Behind the science of this protocol lies the understanding that transformation happens when new neural pathways become stronger than old ones through consistent repetition and emotional reinforcement. Every hour that you consciously choose abundance language over limitation language, you're literally strengthening the neural networks associated with wealth consciousness while allowing the old scarcity networks to weaken through disuse. The revelation here is that you don't need perfect consistency to create dramatic change. You just need concentrated consistency over a short enough period to tip the scales in favor of your new programming. These 48 hours become the foundation for a completely new relationship with money that continues expanding long after the initial intensive period ends. Now, I want to address the most common obstacles that people encounter during this transformation process and share the specific strategies that ensure your success regardless of what challenges arise during these crucial 2 days. Write in the comments, I have access to infinite abundance, if you're ready to upgrade your entire prosperity consciousness starting right now. The most common obstacles that people encounter during this transformation process often stem from forgetting to apply these principles during their actual financial activities. This is where the money energy frequency tuner becomes essential for ensuring every financial interaction supports your abundance goals. Before any financial activity, whether you're going to work, shopping, investing, or even paying bills, you declare, I am aligned with wealth energy, to consciously tune yourself to attract money in all transactions rather than unconsciously repelling it. Behind the scenes of this alignment practice, something remarkable happens to your energetic presence during financial interactions. Instead of approaching money situations with the subtle anxiety or resignation that most people carry, you enter these moments with the confident expectation of abundance. The hidden truth is that your energy during financial activities literally influences the outcomes you experience because other people subconsciously respond to your money confidence or money fear. The transformation becomes evident when you realize that every financial transaction is actually an opportunity to practice your new wealth consciousness rather than just a necessary task to complete. When you're aligned with wealth energy before entering your workplace, you naturally notice opportunities for advancement, additional income, or valuable connections that you might have missed while operating from survival mode. When shopping with abundance alignment, you often discover unexpected savings, helpful people, or even opportunities that lead to money flowing. Back to you. The journey from unconscious financial interactions to conscious wealth creation accelerates dramatically when you understand that the universe has been waiting for you to speak its language of abundance all along. Your financial transformation doesn't begin when your bank account changes. It begins the exact moment you choose these 3 exact words as your new money vocabulary and commit to using them consistently regardless of your current circumstances. The revelation here is that the universe never stopped responding to your words about money. You simply weren't aware that you were constantly placing orders for limitation instead of abundance. Every financial struggle, Every missed opportunity, every moment of money stress was actually evidence that this system works perfectly. You were just unconsciously using it to create scarcity instead of prosperity. The impact of this understanding extends far beyond just attracting money. It completely transforms your relationship with your own creative power and your ability to consciously design any aspect of your life through intentional language and aligned energy. When you master the art of speaking abundantly about money, you've actually mastered the fundamental principle of conscious creation that applies to health, relationships, career, and every other area of human experience. Now, I want to share what happens after these initial 48 hours and how to maintain this new wealth consciousness as your permanent operating system rather than a temporary experiment. Write in the comments, "I speak abundance fluently," if you're ready to make this new money language your permanent vocabulary. What happens after these initial 48 hours is that you begin operating from a completely different financial frequency, and maintaining this new wealth consciousness becomes easier because you're no longer fighting against old programming. You're simply living from your new abundance identity. The most beautiful part of this transformation is that it becomes self-reinforcing. Every time you choose empowering language about money, every moment you align with wealth energy, every instance you recognize abundance around you, you're strengthening neural pathways that make these responses automatic rather than effortful. The universe has been remarkably patient, waiting for you to discover that you've had this power all along. The three phrases we've explored today, I am, I have, and I choose, aren't just words you speak about money. They become the foundation for consciously creating every aspect of your life experience. When you truly understand that your language shapes your reality, you realize you're not just learning about wealth manifestation, you're discovering the fundamental operating principles of consciousness itself. Your journey from accidental limitation to intentional abundance starts right now with the very next words you choose to speak about your financial reality. The universe is listening, taking notes, and preparing to show you just how responsive reality becomes when you align your language with your true desires. If you've made it this far in our conversation, you're clearly someone who's ready for real transformation rather than temporary motivation. I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel because we're going to continue exploring these consciousness principles that actually work. No fluff, just practical wisdom you can apply immediately. The connection we've built over these past few minutes tells me you're serious about changing your relationship with money, and honestly, that deserves recognition. Hit that like button if this resonated with your journey toward financial freedom. Leave a comment saying, "This message was meant for me," so I know you stayed until the end. It means everything to know these insights are reaching people who are ready to use them. There's a video right here that takes this foundation even deeper into the psychology of wealth consciousness. Click and continue with me over there, because what you've learned today is just the beginning of what's possible when you truly understand the language of abundance.